What's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So we got some super duper breaking and leaked news right now. Allegedly, Errol, the big fish Spence, and Terence Crawford has finally been agreed and locked in after 15 years of negotiation waffling. Here we go. Here's the leaked source. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford have agreed to all material terms for a fight for the undisputed welterweight championship, an event targeted for November 19th in Las Vegas, multiple sources have told the YB. However, the deal has not been signed as the parties' lawyers clean up legal language in the agreement. Per sources, Crawford, ESPN's #1 pound-for-pound boxer and top welterweight, acquiesced to all proposed financial terms from PBC creator Al Heyman, including the short end of a revenue split, sources said. Fair play to the guy. The package includes a bilateral rematch clause that the loser will have the right to exercise, per source. If the rematch clause is triggered, the winner will earn the majority of the revenue for the return bout, per sources. The 147-pound summit meeting, Spence holds the WBC, WBA and IBF titles, whilst Crawford has the WBO. Now, the rest is pretty much waffle. We've got the bulk of it. And what I mean by that is, we know the deal. Yeah, this leak says that finally Terence Crawford has essentially rolled over. And listen, there's no smoke without fire. For a long time I kept hearing Terence Crawford wants 50%. Now we hear Terence Crawford's rolled over to take the shorter end of the stick. Rightfully so, in my opinion. And what appears to have happened is, guess what? It appears to be there's been tough negotiations going on. Because we then find out the winner will get the larger revenue split, which is actually quite unusual for an A-side. Traditionally, how it works is Errol Spence would get 60-40, and then Errol Spence, if he lost, would still get 50-50. So what's obviously happened is they've both given up something. Because like I said, traditionally, for example, when AJ fought Usyk, 60, or when AJ fought Ruiz, essentially 60-40, and even when he lost, it was 50-50. He still maintained that half piece. Now, what makes this different is they're going straight 60-40, 60-40. So, if Terence Crawford wins the first fight, he will be the A-side in the second fight. And really, that's how it should be. If someone beats you, how can you be getting half still? Now, obviously, when you're the mega A-side, that's what you're able to do. That's your leverage within contract negotiations. You have that power to say, listen, you take it, grab your ankles. You know what I'm saying? You got two choices. You grab your ankles and let me pop you, or you take a deal. Or you walk away. Most people, you know what I mean? Most people bow their head and, you know what I mean, get their hands out and start grabbing their ankles to take it. What's happened here is, as I've explained, both men, and that's the right thing to do, really. This is the best. This is how it should be. No one believes Crawford should be getting 50-50. And from what I've heard, Crawford was trying to the very last minute. But listen, end of the day, man, would I have preferred this fight to have been locked in 2 months ago? Yeah, but end of the day, as long as we got there eventually, that's what matters. Can I blame Crawford for running a hard bargain? I guess not. That's his job. Or that's his management's job. His management's job is to squeeze it to the very line. And it appears the reason negotiations took so long, Team Crawford were basically saying, we're going to walk away if we don't get 50-50. It was clear that Team Spence weren't budging, and really rightly so. I made videos saying Errol Spence shouldn't take this fight if he ain't getting the lion's share. That's how the business works. Why? Well, belts. It's not even like they both had the same amount of belts. Fair enough, yeah. If Crawford had 2 belts, Spence had 2 belts, there'd at least be that argument. But Spence has more belts, he has more clout, he's sold out an arena. Show me what stadium has Crawford sold out. These are things that matter, people. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point collecting belts? What's the point selling more pay-per-views? What's the point selling out stadiums if we're all just going to get 50-50? That's not the system we live in. We live in a capitalistic system. Now, if you want to go live in Cuba, yeah, and we can all split everything down the middle, that's what Crawford needs to do. But anyway, man, listen, I ain't here to dog Crawford. As long as this news leak is correct, he's obviously finally seen the light. Because both men need this for their legacy. They don't need nothing else. And really, both of these men, yeah, when this fight happens, will accomplish something Floyd Mayweather really never did. Floyd Mayweather never fought a prime bull. He never went head to head with another prime bull. Another prime Hall of Fame bull. Go on, give me it. Who? You can talk about Pacquiao all you want. Pacquiao was old, yeah? And Floyd's style, it's all well and good saying, oh well, Floyd's 18 months older than Pacquiao. That doesn't matter. Floyd had an old man style, yeah? Pacquiao had an explosive young man style. So the age benefited Floyd. Do you understand? Floyd wasn't explosive. We know, as you get older, you lose your explosiveness. You lose your speed. You lose your power. That was Pacquiao's edge. Young and, you know what I mean, fresh. Floyd, he controls the pace of the fight. He don't do much. He's not punching hard. You know what I mean? Floyd knows how to ruin as such. That's great for him. But let's not get it confused. Let's not make out. I think, listen, I ain't a Floyd hater. I think Floyd would have beat Pacquiao anyway. But I'm just saying, the difference is, Floyd, rather than prove he can beat Pacquiao in his prime anyway, he sat on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I mention, well, in my opinion, it's important to mention, these two men are doing something really a lot of fighters, especially the new age, never did. And really, we shouldn't even have to salute them, but I have to mention it, because look at the 135ers. Look at Tank Davis. Yeah? Look at there's too many goobers in this game. So whilst part of me thinks they should be doing that anyway, historically speaking, I'm essentially, Ali fought Foreman and Frazier. That's what you're supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? But in this day and age, we have to be thankful. We have to praise them for doing shit they're supposed to do. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? Because unfortunately, it's not a given anymore. Too many people like Tank Davis sit back and think, oh, I can make 4 or 5 million fighting bums. Yeah? Errol Spence can make probably 6-7 million fighting bums. Why am I going to go out there and fight another prime bull? Yeah? Because listen, this for me is a historic fight. This for me is Hagler Hearns and all them ones. And arguably, to be quite honest with you, I actually think the quality is, because of sport usually gets better as time goes on. I actually think potentially, yeah, this Crawford and Spence is genuinely a top 3 proper quality fight of all time. I'd be intrigued to see what you man think. Give me a fight where you say, YB, these two head-to-heads were more quality. Do you know what I mean? I'm struggling to think of one. Even when you think of Canelo versus Golovkin, I'm still like, you know what I mean? I still think this is above that in terms of pure quality. In terms of skills, and it really is a 50-50, man. I can't wait. My mouth's watering. And the great thing is, it's not long. November 19th, which is literally 2 months away, 9 or 10 weeks. Mental. And before we know it, it's going to be here. I mean, these next few weeks and months is jam-packed. We've got literally everything for everyone. We've even got, we've got a whole bunch of fights. The next 2 months is jam-packed. And even then, after that, potentially, we've got 2 weeks after this fight, we've got AJ and Fury on December 3rd. Not to mention, we only had AJ and Usyk. And now we've got Canelo versus Golovkin. Really, yeah. And that's another thing. The next 3 or 4 months of boxing, yeah, may be the best 3 or 4 months of boxing in its whole history. We've just got bangers. The whole calendar's full. So yeah, man, my mouth is genuinely watering for this fight. Like I said, I'm genuinely trying to think. Tell me the last time you saw a fight like this. None come to mind. They just don't. None come to mind. Because even when you think of the matchups that we missed, like Fury versus AJ, even that, it ain't this. We've got two pure prime athletes, and they're both in it at the top of their game, and I can't see either man losing. Do you know what I'm saying? But guess what? Someone will lose. It's going to be a battle of a true phenomenon. I can't wait. Mouth watering. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and your boy will be back 100%.